Coming up on today's episode, good Tuesday evening to you all, YouTube. It is 6:44 now in the PM. Here at the bench, once again. Seems like I spend a lot of time here at the bench lately, and that's fine with me. I enjoy it. What you see in front of you is the DERB transformer. I was able to get the old one off, or not the old one, but the bells off of it by drilling out the rivets. You can see the rivets. These are kind of captive. They won't come out. They will if you knock them out, but I just see no reason to. I did this one because I wanted to see what was holding it in there, but there's what that looks like. And again, the backup is here somewhere, and I don't even know where it went to. Oh, here it is over here. I've got so much crap on this bench. So there's how it would be mounted like that. So the problem I had is these also have, in addition to being, the covering the windings, these also have the brackets on them to secure the transformer to whatever you want to secure it to. At first I was going to try to just use the Dremel and cut out these pieces here, but then I got to thinking, I got a 3D printer. Yeah, I do. So what I did was I made two of these. They're not heavy. They're heavy enough. I mean, once these are both bolted in, now one of them is bolted in right now. I mean, it holds just fine. But anyway, here's what we came up with. This is the DERB transformer. Now, I have found some of these screws here. These are, I think, brass or whatever. And they're 2 inches long. You can see they fit just right on that part. And that's great. But if we look down below, we can see now these are going to be sticking out. Now this is I printed these 1.5 millimeters. I wasn't really concerned with the strength of it as far as that was concerned. The bottom ones are 2 inches. This is plenty with 4 of those in there to hold that. You could do just about anything you wanted to it, and it would stay there. So not a big problem there. But anyway, like I said, at 2 inches, those have just enough. We look at the other side, just enough to screw a nut on, and that's about it. So what I did, actually Bob did. Bob was on text helping me along here. He checked the Home Depot, the local Home Depot for me, and they did not have a 2 1/4 of these, but they did have 2 1/2. So I got on there after I got through playing around here and found out that they would ship them to my house for free. So for $1.37, I got 4 2 1/2 inch ones coming, which I don't need 4 because these are fine here up on top. You can see I've got it was enough to get a lock washer and washer on there and still have threads all the way to the end of the nut. So that's going to work just fine. And the bottom ones, once I get the 2 1/2 inch ones, I'll probably cut them down. In fact, I know I will, because as you can see, they kind of tend to overlap on these parts here. And like I said, I don't really need them any longer than that. So I'll probably just make sure they fit on, all the way with the with the plastic piece here. And then once I get that all done, then I can cut them off, or maybe mark them or something. I've got those pliers that wire cutters that are actually bolt cutters too, and maybe one of those, or that would work. I think it's got 8/32 setting on it, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, even if they don't, I've got a Dremel. It's not a big deal. And it's got a cutoff wheel. So the other thing You have to pardon me clearing my throat. I just ate. When I do that, I have to clear my throat. Anyway, this is the front piece, or yeah, well, the front panel, as it will be. I've already got it drilled and screwed, screws fitted for it. This is obviously the reset button, and that was exactly where I wanted to put it at. And if you look at it closely there, it's straight up and down right now, and it doesn't even come close to that transformer. So there's no problem with that. That should work just fine. And like I said, that's the way we're going to go with it. And I had to bend these tabs down, but other than that, that's the only thing I really had to do. They had shrink wrap around this, but you know, like I said, it's not even touching. So even if it was touching, I mean, this is all wrapped too. So no problem. I think it will be just fine. I'll make sure that there, you know, after I get it all done and wired and everything, there's nothing touching or like that. But for right now, that's perfect. The back part also fits well. If I could actually find the back part. Things have a tendency to get away from me here on the bench. Don't know. Oh, there it is underneath there. Underneath everything, probably. But there that is, and we can go down with it just like it's supposed to be, and you can see, I think, that it doesn't come, you know, it's got probably a gap of, I'm going to say 1/8 of an inch, maybe even more than that, between the plastic part of the transformer there and the back. So that's plenty of room also. And again, these are slotted, so, you know, there's plenty of airflow there. That's not a problem. I just totally think this is going to be the way to go with this, because this was my plan all along, to get this, you know, this way. And like I said, you know, once I can get the transformer totally mounted, I can go ahead and finish the working on the rest of this. Here's the primary wiring here for the plug receptacle, whatever you want to call it. I got to put a switch in. That's going to go right underneath the switch, or the reset here. Power switch. I'm thinking about putting a LED in it. I don't know if I will or not. Those power switches that I got from Wally, you guys may remember those. They've got that red indicator on them that shows they're on, and I like that. One of the reasons I like those switches so much is because of that. And I can always just tell in an instant if it's on or not, and so that may be the way to do it. Plus, this has the meter, and the meter will be lit up if it's on, so I really don't need the LED. In fact, I need to take the LED off of the board here. I believe that's an overcurrent notification. I think Bob was telling me something about it, and I didn't really listen very good. I do that with Bob sometimes. He knows it. But like I said, I don't know how well you're seeing it, but right there it is. I can take that off and mount it on the front somewhere. It can go anywhere there. It doesn't matter. It's just I think, like I say, it's an indication that you might be over current, or over the setting for the current, or something like that. I don't know exactly. I haven't read it yet to see what it actually does. But again, that needs to be mounted on the front. So get that done. I've done test fitted all this stuff. All these fit good. I don't have my banana plug jacks here to show you, but they fit good here. There's enough. Now the first ones I tried, I was going to use the full size ones, but they come up and hit this board here, and they wouldn't work. So I had to use basically the same ones I used on the DC power supply for the MFP there. And they're just right, and they don't come close to the, well, they come close, but I mean, they don't touch the board. And so those are the ones I'm going to be using. I've also test fitted the potentiometers here to make sure those will fit, and they will be long enough, plus to actually go from here to there. That's good too. And everything is coming together. Around the back here, the fan, I don't know exactly how I'm going to secure it to the heatsink, but some of these now you can actually screw a screw into the heatsink fins and have it secured enough to where it'll hold the fan on there. I think I'm gonna try that first, And if that doesn't work, then I may have to make me another bracket to screw to these. You can see these two places on the top there that accept screws, and that's the same as on the bottom, and that's how it's screwed to the PCB. And I could make a plastic thing to come down there like that with a hole, around it, and just mount the fan to it that way. But I'm gonna, like I said, the easy way is to just get some screws and screw it right into the fins if you can do that. But I've seen that done many times on stuff like this. Also, if I had to align it a little better, I could probably turn it this way. That wouldn't hurt a thing. And just as long as the fan's blowing where it's supposed to blow, that's all you really have to worry about. But like I say, that will be coming up. Well, I want to get the rest of this stuff done first. That's the last thing I probably want to do is get that working. I have, I may have mentioned the switch that will be coming from Amazon. Thermal switch that will kick on the fan at 75 degrees centigrade or Celsius or whatever they call that. I never can get the right word in there, but 75 C. So, like I said, that's coming, and it hasn't been ordered yet, but I will be ordering it. I've got some other things I want to order too next time I get enough money to do that. So, like I said, that's going to be done. So the only reason I went ahead and bought those screws is Bob said, yeah, you can go down there and get you some supper at Wendy's and buy and pick those up. And I said, nah, I don't think so. And I told him I found out they would ship them for free, and he says he was going to, I forget what he said, he's going to do something, get me out of my house or something. But anyway, so that's that. Like I said, I know I had more of these that were longer than this. I don't know how long they were, but I know I had some, because I had bought some to begin with because I didn't know the size. I bought some longer ones than these. So I've actually got probably a couple of them that would work. But again, for $1.32 shipped, I can't complain too much from that. Of course, now they're not supposed to get here until May the 3rd. So that's the caveat, I guess. You have to, kind of put up with a little delay, but it's not the end of the world. I'm not in no hurry. I've got other things I can be doing on this, but I was happy the way it's turned out, and I think it looks good. I think it'll work good too. So there you go. That's that. That's the update on that, and I thought you guys might want to know because I had left you kind of hanging on this because I didn't know exactly what I was going to do with it. I wanted to get those bells off, and they came off really easy. I finally I took my drill and I found a better bit than the ones I got out of China, and they just popped right out real quick. And so once I did that, the bells came off, and the bells were ringing. But there's a better look at the back one here. It's already been screwed into the board and screwed into the what do you call it? They're 2 inches long, and they're enough to put nuts on them. That's about it. But that's how they'll be held on. Like I said, that is strong enough to hold a lot, especially with two of them on there. I know it's not the ideal situation. I'd rather have the metal brackets, but I was going to use these. I had these, but they won't fit. They would fit, the bottom part, but they wouldn't fit, up here because I'd have to re-drill them to get them a different size. So that's why I didn't use those. But I was going to try those first, and like I said, I was going to cut the brackets off the bells, but I figure why do that when you got a printer and you just print some new ones up there and they work just fine. And like I said, there's the bottom way that looks. And you can see it will have feet on it once those arrive. Those are supposed to be on their way, but I haven't seen anything out of them lately. But like I said, that's that. So I'm happy about that and happy about everything the way it's going. So I think that's about it. If I come back, I'll come back with more later if I have some. Meter, I haven't really had a chance to use it much, but it's still there. It hasn't fell off. So that's that. And I want to put this all together before I paint it. That was the other thing I wanted to get from Home Depot was paint. They have that color that I wanted, which matches the other cases that I got from China. This color here. So That's what I kind of wanted, was something like that. And I wanted to get that painted and get all that done. The only thing that really has to be painted is this, and the front and back need to be painted as well. But the rest of it, I think it's going to be just fine like it is, because there's no sense in painting the bottom. I'll never see the bottom. And like I said, this is going to be white. Oh, you guys are not seeing what I'm seeing. This is going to be white anyway. This will be blue. And like I said, all around it'll be white. I just think blue and white makes it nice. It made a nice one on the Heathkit case that I did. And I could probably get away with the same color as that I used on the Heathkit. But I wanted a little different shade if I could get it. And so I've got that looked at. And they do have it at the local Home Depot. And so I may go ahead and get a can of that. And then play around with that. And then see what I can come up with. So that's a good look at that. I think everybody, if anybody was wondering how it was going to turn out, there you go. That's how it's going to work. So, all right. If I have more, I'll come back at a later time and we'll update you then. But for now, we'll see you later. Well, good Friday morning to you all, YouTube. It's 7:28 now in the AM. Here with you at the bench once more. Running way behind. Had a dinner at my daughter's last night instead of Wednesday. That throws my whole system out of whack. You guys know how that is. So I'm just going to do a brief update on what I worked on yesterday, and combine that with what I did the other day, and we'll call it a video. So that's about it. This is the amp board, the 20 watt, as you can see right there, I think. I've got the controls on it. I did those yesterday. That's the volume, I think. Bass and treble. And I think that's how it's laid out. You can see B, T, and volume. I've got the power wires on it. Those two there. And I'm kind of just in limbo now. I do have a couple of other items done here on the case. I've got the speaker connectors there for the one speaker that it gets, because this is a mono amp, and the input jack is all wired up there, as you can see. And on the front panel we do have the holes cut for the controls, and I went with 3 because I'm not going to do the multiple inputs on this one. This is just going to be more or less the prototype, and we're going to go from there. So I think that's the best way to do it. There's the chassis with the transformer mounted, awaiting the PCB for that. And that's pretty much it. Now, I've got my feet in yesterday, and they weren't what I thought they were going to be. You can see they're not much to them, really. I thought they were going to be a little thicker than this, but they weren't. So, like I said, not going to go with those. I'm probably going to go with these ones I've had left here for a while. They're a little bigger than I wanted to, but for right now I think they'll be just fine. And that's what I'll use for those. Also, the screws that I really don't need now came in. Those are the forget how long, 50 millimeter I believe, 4 millimeter in diameter. And those would work for the transformer on the power supply, but I had those ones that I didn't know I had, and that's what I'm using for that. So no other changes for that. I haven't got the longer screws in. That's kind of what I'm waiting for on it. So really kind of in limbo on both projects at the moment. I've got to get my power supply developed for this, and it's really going to be a simple one, I think. Just a bridge rectifier and that 4700 microfarad E-cap that I had on it. And the biggest thing I've got to decide now is how to do the input and the speaker connection. I want something that will go here. That's for the input, and there's a speaker right there, and I want to make sure that I can have something that I can have this attached, and then just plug in easy plug-in to connect it instead of having to solder connections or anything like that. And I bought these again. I like these connectors here. But I think what we're going to do eventually on these kits like this, we're going to go with the same thing that the power supply had, those JST 3-pin connectors, and that will just, just put the header on the board, the 3-pin headers, and then just connect the wires just like we're going to do on the power supply. So I think that's the way to go on that. So like I say, running way behind. We had a kind of a late night last night talking about, I don't know if I've mentioned this much, but Saturday, tomorrow, we're supposed to have a dining detectives at my daughter's house. My son and some of his co-workers are going to be there, and they're going to be taking part of that, and I am too. And so I'm not much of an actor, but I thought I'd give it a little shot. I thought it'd be some fun to do. And I haven't also mentioned this, but I think if things go right, we may be attending Cletus and Cars in Indianapolis in May. I don't know yet for sure. I haven't got all the details, but I think my son and his 2 boys are going, and maybe my son-in-law. And so that's the things that are happening so far. And so I'll let you know more about that as I know more. But for right now, that's all I know. That's pretty much all I know. So I got 2 kits to mail out. We have 2 more orders that came in. I think we're up to around 25 now, 24, 25 kits that we sold. And those are just going to the States. So those won't be hard to do. I sent 2 out the other day on, I forget now, on Wednesday. Oh yeah, it was yesterday. No, Wednesday. Wednesday, I was supposed to go out to my daughter's Wednesday, and she canceled. She wasn't feeling well, and some of the kids were sick, and some other stuff. And that was the other thing. My granddaughter Lexi was in from, and the place is Valparaiso, and I couldn't ever think of where they were living at, her and her significant other. But yeah, I got to see the new baby, Liberty Rose, cute little baby, and so I got to do all that and have a nice meal. We had chicken tenders. That's one of my favorites. So it was really good. Everything was just great. We played some cards, played little cards. I think some euchre before supper was ready, and then after supper I played a game of hearts. And that was good as well. So had a great time. Stayed up too late. Ate too much. You guys know the drill. So this morning I didn't really want to get out of bed, but I thought if I want to get this video up, and like I said, you know me, I usually have them up at 6. But I was running way behind on this one, and because of all the stuff going on. And so that's the reason for that. So I'm going to make this short and cut it off real quick. You guys have a great day. I don't know what kind of day it's supposed to. Oh, that's the other thing. I'm supposed to get a haircut today, too. My granddaughter, Jordan, she's supposed to come by and cut my hair. And that's getting really long, you guys. That's one of the reasons I haven't been too much visible. Because it's shaggy looking, and I hate shaggy looking hair. And I hate, when it gets in my face and things like that. You know how it is. So like I say, you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you.